Tim, I'd love to hear from you for a little bit on how you go with managing the communication and production traffic in your team.
Yeah, thanks, Kristy. I think the first thing is it's important that everyone in the team knows how they fit in that team. So managing communication traffic and production traffic starts in the firm. It's not about managing the client so much as knowing who does what. And then from there, you can start to educate the clients. But the key thing is really that the client manager and the production manager know who's in charge of what kind of email. So if a client emails the production manager, but it's really a client communication type traffic question that is relevant for the client manager, they forward it on, and vice versa. The important thing is they don't just do it themselves, deal with it themselves, because it's quicker in the moment, because it creates a lot of chaos. So there's a lot of CCing, but we've found that it doesn't take very long at all before the clients realize, oh, that's a client manager question. And acknowledgement letters are really helpful way of directing communication traffic. So we found that the acknowledgement letter, which we would send out when we're scheduling the job and requesting information, it's kind of an education tool we use to let the client know who to go to in the team for what, because it can be kind of confusing. Clients can say, well, there's like 4 people on this team. Who do I go to? We always say your first port of call should be the client manager. And what I found is really effective teams, the client manager delegates more and more communication to the production manager, and they're able to assist them in that way. And this really goes to the heart of the deep and narrow team. If you've got bookkeepers, even if they're offshore, Jamie probably has more experience in this than I do, but even the bookkeepers offshore might still be having client contact if it's low-level production contact, if that makes sense. And that's really a way of having, not having the client manager bottleneck every single client contact that needs to occur in the business, because the admin team will also be contacting the client on things that are relevant to them, might be collecting invoices or sending out invoices or other things like IRS or ATO correspondence and whatnot. And so when you think about it, there might be, as much as 4 different people in the business contacting clients at any given time. And that can get confusing if you don't know internally who does what to begin with. But it is a really powerful tool to build $1 million team. And then, you can add another layer of complexity when you start installing assistant client managers as well. And they can look after, C&D or simpler clients. And it's all just ways of trying to leverage and protect the most expensive, most leverageable person in the team, which is usually the senior client manager. So yeah, if you don't have internal policies, if you don't have internal training, if you've got a bunch of accountants who don't really know, they couldn't answer the question, what kind of emails do I respond to? What kind of emails would the other people in my team respond to? It's probably safe to say you haven't done a great job yet of educating your own team. And you can't expect the clients to know what to do if your own team doesn't know to begin with. So yeah, that's my first step, would be to have that conversation with your own team, and then look at tools like acknowledgement letters, which detail all the team members and what each of them does as a way of beginning to educate the clients.
Yeah, that's a really great point, Tim. And I know for us with a recurring bookkeeping services business, we send a welcome guide to all of our clients who have listed who their client manager is and who the support team members are on the team, so that they're somewhat familiar with the names. I'd like to think the client reads it end to end. So when they receive communication from someone, they go, oh yeah, I remember seeing them in the welcome guide. So it's just how to build that relationship, because it can work against you having lots of people communicating with the client if you don't manage it well. But if you do manage it well, it's such a great reason to be working with you, because, there's a whole team that helped me. And I know that I always speak to Tim or Kristy or whoever the client manager might be, but I've got this team around me who help get things done. So it creates a great connection if you manage that relationship well.
Totally.
Yeah.